Today's episode of Success Story is about the Sheikh of Architects, the architect Issam Safieddin, who was born in Cairo in the year 1941. He received a bachelor's degree in architecture from the Architecture Department of the Faculty of Fine Arts in Cairo University, 1963. He is a lecturer on assignment at university sites for architecture, arts, antiquities and tourism. Over 55 years, starting from the academic year 1966-1965, where he worked in the architectural department of colleges, Fine Arts in Cairo, Shubra Engineering, Al-Matariya Engineering, Al-Azhar Engineering, and others, and also in the arts departments of faculties of interior design, decoration, sculpture, industrial design, and ceramics at the Faculty of Applied Arts, the decoration departments of the Higher Institute of Dramatic Arts, the Higher Institute of Cinema, and the Higher Institute of Folk Arts, and the Academy of Arts and the departments of sculpture, graphics, decoration, and photography at the Faculty of Fine Arts in Minya. Public lectures outside Egypt or abroad have the Department of Architecture, Delft University in the Netherlands, the Egyptian Academy in Rome, Italy, Jeddah Municipality, Medina Municipality, Al-Munawwara Department of Ancient History, University of Los Angeles, California, USA, Fine Arts Architecture, Versailles, France, Cultural Activity Architecture, Liverpool, England. Engineer Issam Safieddin was the pioneer in establishing curricula and teaching methods for a number of subjects such as folk architecture, humanities, architectural poverty. Over the course of the working life of the engineer Issam Safieddin, many of those who became professors, department heads, deans, and university presidents graduated from him. Governors and ministers through 55 years of teaching. Second, establishing cultural and educational entities and implementing or contributing to the achievements of establishment of the Egyptian Architecture House in the Ministry of Culture. The idea, preparation, and achievement of a cultural entity in the archaeological building presents the history of each of the work and influences of architecture in Egypt in time and place through several halls. The Epic Heritage Hall. Architecture and the Hall of Egyptian Folk Architecture, the Hall of Ancient Egypt Architecture, the Hall of Greek Architecture of Egypt, Roman, the Hall of Christian Architecture of Egypt, the Hall of the Islamic Architecture of Egypt, the Hall of the Architecture of Egypt. Modern and Contemporary Architectural Museum Ramses Wissa Wasif, Museum of Architect Hassan Fathi. In addition to the activities and seminars, lectures and children's workshops according to the administrative program, accomplished at the expense of Isam Safiuddin due to the circumstances of the material variables, the time of the start of implementation in the year 2011, and it opened in April 2016. Second, the founding of the idea of the Center of Civilizational Achievement Studies. This is the idea that became the National Organization for Urban Coordination after it was presented in June 1988. Fifth, the establishment of the Folklore Museum, and that was at the Academy of Arts in 1993, and the building was completed and preparations are currently underway for museum display. The establishment of the contents of the National Maritime Museum in Alexandria, and that was for the Antiquities Authority in 1985, then the Architectural Design in 1993, and preparations are underway for it. 1986, design and completion of the archaeological corridor between Sultan Hassan and Al-Rifai in Al-Qal'a Square. 1988, establishment and completion of the Opera House Museum on the island. Modifying and drafting the facades of the Opera House to the Contemporary Islamic Museum in 1987. Modifying and drafting the facades of the October War panorama to the Contemporary Islamic 1985. 1987, developing the museum display of the Military Museum. Design and implementation of the first upgrading and beautification of the city. Contributing to the plan of upgrading and beautifying the city of Jeddah in 1984. Contributing to the completion of the museum display content of the Danshwai Museum. Contributing to the implementation of the museum exhibits of the Nubian Museum in Aswan in 1997. Contributing to the scientific material and implementing the museum exhibition of the Children's Museum in Heliopolis. Establishment of the Research Center for Sustainability and Documentation of the Thought of Hassan Fathi and Ramses Wissa Wasif Department of Architecture, Tanta, Engineering 2020. A proposal for the establishment of research centers for local architecture, Hassan Fathi, Ramses Wissa Wasif, Sustainability Center at the British University and Architecture Department, Faculty of Fine Arts, Mansoura University. Department of Agriculture, or rather Architecture, Fayoum Engineering in 2020. Suggesting the scientific article and establishing the museum part in the village of Al-Jama, Hassan Fathi in Luxor. Establishment of the largest and oldest office for the implementation of stereoscopic models and museum display models in museums and models of cinematic tricks for films from 1959 to 1998 in Egypt, the Arab countries, and the Middle East, where it was used in local and international exhibitions, museums, pens, displays, windows, and shops, and gifts to kings and heads of state, and the animation department of Egyptian television. Third, TV programs and documentaries. Writing the scientific material, preparing and participating in the script for several documentaries on Egyptian TV. Membership of committees and business and activities consultant. Registered in the Royal Institute of British Architects Consulting Experience Book, RIBA 1978. Advisor to the Academy of Arts for Architecture 1990. Maintenance consultant for the Egyptian Opera House 1990. Member of the Art and Society Committee of the Plastic Arts Committee in 2007. Consultant of Urban Planning and Urban Design for the General Authority for Urban Planning 1996, Marsa Alam City. Member of the Planning and Executive Authority of Greater Cairo from the year 1966 to 1970. As for honors, the Sheikh of Architects, Haitham Safiuddin, received 78 certificates of appreciation. shields and necklaces, or the most important of which are Shield of Ministry of Culture for the establishment of the Egyptian Architectural House and a Certificate of Appreciation in 2016. Certificates of Appreciation from the Egyptian Federation of Architects and the Egyptian Architects Association. Certificate of Appreciation from the Faculty of Fine Arts in Minya. National Honor Medallion. Certificates of Appreciation from the Arab Society for Islamic Arts and Civilization and the Egyptian Opera House. The Association for the Preservation of Egyptian Heritage, the Cultural Palaces Authority, and the Trade Union Workers Union. The Appreciation Award from the General Union of Arab Archaeologists. Nomination for the Nile Prize Medallion for Egyptian Creators in the Field of Arts for the year 2021 by the Mansoura University Council on the 22nd of December 2020. Honorary and Honorary Presidency. The Honorary Presidency of the Syndicate of Traditional and Contemporary Craftsmen. You receive the Honorary Presidency of the UNESCO Heritage Clubs in Egypt. The personal and public exhibitions. Engineer participated in many exhibitions, including the exhibition of Hassan Fathi's works, Thought and Philosophy in Fine Arts, Cairo, 1990. Hassan Fathi's works and thought exhibition at the Egyptian Academy of Arts in Rome, Italy, 1992. Exhibition of works of Egyptian architects in the Egyptian Opera House in 1996. Exhibition of Islamic Antiquities of Egypt and the Islamic World Festival in London, 1976. Exhibition of works, thought and philosophy of Ramses Swisa Wassef in Fine Arts, Cairo, 1993. 1992 SeaWorld Works exhibition in Genoa, Italy. Exhibition of biography and experiences of the architect Aissam Safieddine, the Opera House, 2009. Exhibition of biography and experiences of architect Aissam Safieddine in Fine Arts, Cairo. establishing several research centers in Egyptian universities on local architecture, identity and heritage, and taught Hassan Fathi and Ramses Wissa Wasif. Preparation and establishment of the museum part in the village of Al-Jaraha in Luxor. Preparation for the exhibition and art lecture at the Alexandria National Museum on the Maritime Museum, which was beginning in 1986. Then the same exhibition and lecture at the Biblioteca Alexandrina. Nicknames and references given to him: Professor of Generations, Teacher of Generations, Philosopher, Professor of Professors, Sheikh of Architects. Perhaps the title that the architect is cherished by the teacher because his previous works and achievements are many. They were collected in 700 pages, and the engineer and Sheikh of Architects is still continuing and going on in his giving, and generations are learning from him.